Listen to me right now. Do not spend these coins. I'm serious. Somewhere in your pocket, your drawer, your car cup holder, there could be a dirty old penny that looks absolutely ordinary, but it's hiding serious money. And that is not hype. That is American history talking. Most people walk past these coins every single day. They hear the jingle in their pocket and think nothing of it. But collectors, historians, and serious numismatists know better. These small pieces of metal were born during moments that shaped the United States. Times of war, hope, power, and change. Their designs were never random. Every detail was intentional. Every symbol carried meaning. And some versions were created under conditions so unusual that today they are worth millions of dollars. Imagine a coin struck when the nation was holding its breath, or produced during an era when mistakes and rare variations slipped quietly into circulation. These coins traveled through American hands, across diners, gas stations, and grocery stores, completely unnoticed, until one day they were discovered and changed someone's life forever. Welcome to Rare Coins Info. This channel is where hidden history meets real value. Today, we dive into 3 ordinary-looking American coins that carry extraordinary stories. Coins that represent power, legacy, and rarity. And yes, coins that have crossed into the realm of millions of dollars without ever looking special at first glance. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at your change the same way again.
Imagine holding a coin in your hand that seems ordinary at first glance, yet carries a legacy older than most family heirlooms. Yet this is no ordinary coin. This is the 1959 Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin minted in a year that marked the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, a year in which history was celebrated, yet quietly resting in the palms of millions without most even knowing the treasure they held. The 1959 Lincoln cent is a coin with a simple copper hue, a diameter of 19 millimeters, a weight of approximately 3.11 grams, and a thickness that fits perfectly in your fingers. Yet the true story of this coin lies beyond its measurements. It lies in the journey it has taken from minting presses in Philadelphia to wallets, pockets, jars, and drawers across the nation, each scratch, each imperfection. A witness to decades of change, a piece that has survived the rise of cities, the fall of fortunes, the march of time, and yet remains resilient and treasured. Collectors know that the condition of a coin can transform its value in ways that are almost magical. A used 1959 Lincoln cent might seem insignificant to the untrained eye, yet in the hands of experts at PCGS or NGC, the subtle luster remaining the precise strike. The minor imperfections that tell a story of circulation can elevate a penny into a collectible of unimaginable value. Imagine a coin that spent decades in circulation, passing through tens, hundreds, maybe thousands of hands, every fingerprint, every contact, subtly altering its surface, yet somehow preserving a history that only a trained eye can decipher. As collectors, we study these coins. We turn them, we examine them under magnification, searching for the tiniest clues that tell us about their past. The 1959 Lincoln cent is notable for its obverse design, featuring Abraham Lincoln in profile, a design created by Victor David Brenner. Yet 1959 also introduced the reverse, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, a design change that marked a turning point in American coinage, a tiny detail to the casual observer, yet a monumental shift for collectors and historians alike. The Lincoln cent embodies both artistry and history in a single copper disc. Understanding the nuances of this coin is crucial for collectors. For instance, the color of the copper can tell us about the storage conditions, the rate of oxidation, the environment in which it circulated. The weight of 3.11 grams confirms its authenticity, while the diameter of 19 millimeters is standardized, yet any deviation can indicate an error or a rare die strike. These variations are the hidden treasures that professional grading companies meticulously record. PCGS and NGC assign grades that can transform a coin from a mere curiosity into a multi-million-dollar collectible, even for a used coin. the storytelling continues. Each mark tells a tale. Every scratch is a witness to a moment in time. The 1959 Lincoln cent in circulated condition carries a charm that uncirculated coins cannot replicate. The wear is a testament to its journey, a narrative etched into metal, a silent storyteller of American life in the late 20th century. The edges of the coin, the rim, the subtle details of Lincoln's bust, the delicate architecture of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse all contribute to its identity. These elements determine whether a coin is categorized as fine, very fine, extremely fine, or about uncirculated. Each step in grading affects not only its monetary value, but its historical importance. The story deepens when we consider how to sell such a coin. Understanding the right avenues is crucial. Selling a rare Lincoln cent should be done through reputable auction houses or specialized coin dealers who are familiar with high-value currency venues, such as heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or authorized PCGS and NGC dealers offer the security and knowledge required to maximize value. A private sale without authentication risks both undervaluation and fraud. Collectors often hesitate to part with such coins, yet knowing the proper channels ensures the story continues responsibly. The 1959 Lincoln cent also offers fascinating lessons in numismatics, from die variations to mint errors. Small shifts in the design can create varieties that are highly sought after by collectors. These tiny differences can include doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and variations in lettering, all of which add layers of intrigue to a coin that otherwise seems simple. Even seasoned collectors find themselves enthralled by the history encoded in these details. Understanding provenance is also key. A coin's journey can enhance its story. Coins with documented histories often command higher prices. Collectors love the narrative behind the object, not just the object itself. Imagining a 1959 Lincoln cent that survived the Great Depression, echoes of World War II, and the rise of the United States as a global power adds depth to its value. Each coin carries with it invisible threads linking it to significant historical moments. Each penny, seemingly insignificant in daily life, embodies decades of change, political shifts, cultural evolution, and economic milestones which together elevate the coin from a common medium to a cherished artifact. The copper composition itself tells a story of American industry and technological progress. The precise metallurgy used to strike the coin reflects standards that collectors admire. Even minor variations in color and shine can indicate chemical reactions over time, preservation methods, or circulation intensity, all of which are recorded meticulously in professional grading. Reports the thickness of 1.52 millimeters, the standard for Lincoln cents of the era, ensures a balance between durability and design clarity, a fact that coin designers and mint workers painstakingly calibrated, and collectors can immediately recognize, whether through touch or magnification. Subtle differences in thickness can indicate a coin from a specific die or a rare minting batch. These small details become treasures in the eyes of numismatists. The 1959 Lincoln cent is more than copper, more than a date on a coin. It is a portal to American history, an object that combines artistry, economy, culture, and legacy into a single tangible piece, a collector's dream and historian's delight. When you hold a used 1959 Lincoln cent, you feel the weight of decades. The diameter fits perfectly in your palm, yet its story extends far beyond your hand. The historical resonance of Abraham Lincoln's profile reminds us of leadership, resilience, and vision, while the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse echoes the importance of remembering our heritage, its place in circulation history, surviving wear and tear, and yet still captivating collectors today. Now imagine the anticipation of a coin being professionally graded. The excitement as a PCGS or NGC expert examines the coin under precise lighting and magnification, checking for minute scratches, luster retention, strike sharpness, and overall eye appeal, knowing that the result could transform a humble penny into a record-breaking collectible. The tension builds as the coin is assigned a grade, which will influence its desirability, rarity perception, and ultimately, its market value. Even a used coin can attract offers that astonish the imagination when sold through the right channels, maintaining provenance, authentication, and collector confidence. This is the journey of the 1959 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a journey from ordinary currency to extraordinary collectible, an object that teaches patience, attention to detail, and a deep respect for history. For collectors, each coin is a story, each scratch a memory, each luster a reminder that the past is tangible, and the 1959 Lincoln cent embodies this lesson. Beautifully, finally, if you are fortunate enough to own such a coin or to acquire one, understanding its value, both monetary and historical, and knowing where to sell it are essential steps in continuing the legacy, whether through auction houses, certified dealers, or private collectors. This coin's story lives on, and with every new owner, every new observer, it continues to inspire curiosity, admiration, and passion for numismatics. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, as we will continue to explore the hidden treasures of American coins, unlocking the secrets, the history, and the astonishing value of coins, like the 1959 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stay tuned for our next coin, the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny, which will reveal even more extraordinary stories, secrets, and insights into the world of rare American coins, each coin a chapter in a saga that continues to fascinate, captivate, and inspire collectors around the world.
Imagine holding in your hand a coin that seems familiar, yet carries a story that is anything but ordinary. A coin that represents both history and mystery. A coin that traveled through decades witnessing the changes of a nation. This is the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a piece struck in a year marked by both progress and challenge in American history, a coin whose journey through circulation has given it a character that few modern coins possess. The 1977 Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams, a perfect balance of form and function. Yet the true allure of this coin lies not merely in its physical properties, but in its story. The copper composition reflects the meticulous minting standards of the 1970s. The subtle reddish-brown hue often tinged with evidence of decades in circulation. Each scratch, each mark, a testament to the hands that have held it, the pockets it has traveled through, the jars, drawers, and wallets where it quietly awaited rediscovery. Collectors understand that a used 1977 Lincoln cent can tell as much of a story as an uncirculated coin, its journey imprinted in its surfaces, and when examined by experts at PCGS or NGC, the coin reveals its secrets, subtle variations in luster, strike, and color that elevate it from a common penny to a sought-after collectible. The obverse of the 1977 Lincoln cent features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner over 6 decades earlier, yet remaining timeless in its elegance. The reverse continues to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, a reminder that even coins circulating decades later carry with them the echoes of commemoration. Each tiny architectural detail on the memorial, each line on Lincoln's profile, is scrutinized by collectors, the precision of the mint strike influencing the coin's desirability and value. Minor die variations and mint errors are of particular interest, for example, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or slight misalignments in the lettering, all of which can transform a seemingly ordinary coin into a rare gem. The 1977 Lincoln cent offers collectors a fascinating glimpse into American numismatic history. Even in circulated condition, The coin is a tangible link to the late 1970s, a period of both social change and economic challenge. As the United States navigated shifts in politics, culture, and industry, imagining a coin that passed through countless hands during this period adds an emotional depth to its value. Beyond the copper and design, the coin embodies decades of lived experience, each scratch and dent a silent witness to the passage of time. Collectors often marvel at the subtle differences among 1977 Lincoln cents, noting that color tone, luster retention, and edge sharpness can vary significantly. These variations can indicate storage conditions, circulation patterns, and even minting anomalies. Professional grading companies meticulously record these details, providing collectors with authentication, provenance, and confidence in their acquisition. The process of grading can be suspenseful, as coins are examined under precise lighting, magnification, and expert scrutiny. The result can elevate a humble circulated penny into a collectible worth millions. The 1977 Lincoln cent, in particular, has seen remarkable appreciation due to its rarity in high-grade circulated condition. The combination of historical context, design appeal, and surviving condition makes it a coveted piece. For collectors, understanding the full story of the coin involves examining not just its physical properties, but also its numismatic significance. The 1977 penny was minted during a period of change at the U.S. Mint, with technological advancements improving the quality of strikes, yet human factors always introduced variations. These subtle inconsistencies are treasures for experts who can decipher the story hidden in metal. The thickness of 1.52 millimeters ensures durability. The diameter of 19 millimeters offers consistency with earlier Lincoln cents, and the weight of 3.11 grams maintains the standards that collectors recognize. Even the smallest deviation can hint at a rare error or die variation, which can dramatically increase desirability. The 1977 Lincoln cent also teaches collectors about the impact of circulation on a coin's condition. Each mark and scratch adds to the narrative, a testimony to the coin's journey through American life. And yet, despite wear, the coin maintains its historical and artistic significance. Imagining the coin moving from mint to hand to pocket to collection, one can almost hear the echoes of conversations, the clink of coins, the rhythm of daily life in the late 1970s. Every coin tells a story beyond numbers, dates, and metal. It tells the story of a nation, of ordinary lives, of moments in history preserved in copper. Selling a coin of this magnitude requires knowledge and care. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, as well as certified PCGS and NGC dealers, provide secure platforms, ensuring that the coin is authenticated and its provenance preserved. Selling privately without verification risks undervaluation and fraud. A collector must ensure that the coin's story continues responsibly, understanding how grading, provenance, and marketplace reputation affect the coin's final value, as even a used 1977 Lincoln cent has captivated collectors, commanding prices that reflect both historical significance and numismatic quality. The obverse and reverse designs continue to fascinate, Lincoln's profile offering timeless elegance. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a miniature tribute to history and national pride, and even in circulated condition, the artistry shines through. Professional graders note subtle luster retention, strike precision, and minor die variations, all contributing to the coin's narrative and market value. This coin represents not only a collectible, but also an educational opportunity, teaching collectors about metallurgy, minting techniques, grading standards, and historical context. The copper composition reflects 20th century minting practices. The weight and dimensions provide a benchmark for authenticity, and the design elements bridge past and present. The story of the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny is also about human connection, the collectors who study it, the historians who appreciate it, and the everyday Americans who once carried it unknowingly. Each coin is a bridge across time, a tangible reminder that history is not just written in books, but held in our hands. Imagining the suspense, as a collector,
submits the coin for grading, the anticipation as experts at PCGS or NGC examine every detail under magnification, noting color, luster, strike, and minor imperfections. The outcome could elevate a humble circulated coin into a treasure. The subtle differences between fine, very fine, and extremely fine conditions carry stories and market value. The journey of a 1977 Lincoln cent is one of resilience, transformation, and discovery. A coin that circulated quietly, yet now commands attention from collectors worldwide. Every mark tells a story, every detail matters, from thickness to diameter, weight to color, strike to luster. The coin embodies a narrative that is both historical and personal. Collectors are drawn to the journey of this penny, from mint to pocket to collection, from ordinary currency to extraordinary artifact. The 1977 Lincoln cent continues to inspire curiosity, admiration, and passion for numismatics. The thrill of discovering subtle die variations, learning about mint errors, understanding grading impact, and ultimately, appreciating the historical resonance makes it a compelling collectible. And as you consider owning, grading, or selling such a coin, remember, the value lies not only in copper, but in history, story, and expert recognition. When handled, preserved, and traded responsibly, this coin can provide both emotional and financial rewards. Collectors and enthusiasts alike find fascination in its story, each scratch, each mark, each remaining gleam of luster a window into the past. And as we prepare to explore the next coin, the 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny, the narrative continues, a story of American coinage, legacy, and rare treasures that will captivate and educate collectors, inspiring them to uncover the hidden beauty and historical significance in coins that may have once seemed ordinary yet hold extraordinary tales. Stay with us, like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, and join us as we continue to reveal the secrets, surprises, and astonishing value of American coins, because every penny has a story, and the 1977 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of the most fascinating chapters in American numismatic history. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that seems modern, yet carries a story that bridges past and present, a coin that embodies history, artistry, and numismatic intrigue. This is the 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin minted in a decade of transition, a coin whose journey from mint to pocket to collection tells a tale few would expect from a simple penny. The 1995 Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams, measurements that echo the consistency of Lincoln cents minted over decades. Yet the true story lies beyond numbers, beyond copper and diameter, in the journey of the coin itself and the subtle details that make it exceptional for collectors. The 1995 Lincoln cent features the obverse design of Abraham Lincoln in profile, a design created by Victor David Brenner and immortalized on American coinage. The reverse continues to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959, marking the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. This continuity provides collectors with a sense of tradition, yet the nuances of the coin's minting year, subtle variations in strike, luster, and die details, create a world of discovery for numismatists. Each coin in circulated condition tells a story, the reddish-brown copper reflecting decades of handling. Each scratch, each tiny dent, a testament to its journey through countless hands, from pockets to jars, wallets to collections. The coin becomes a silent witness to everyday life in 1995 and beyond. Collectors recognize that circulated coins can hold extraordinary value when properly examined and authenticated by experts at PCGS or NGC. The grading process scrutinizes luster, strike sharpness, color, and surface imperfections, providing collectors with authentication and confidence. Even a used 1995 Lincoln cent can reveal hidden treasures through careful inspection, subtle die variations, repunched mint marks, and minor errors all contribute to a coin's desirability. The 1995 Lincoln cent was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint utilized advanced striking technology, yet human factors introduced variations that collectors prize. The edge, thickness, and diameter are critical markers of authenticity. Deviations can indicate rare die variations or mint errors. These anomalies transform an ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collectible. Understanding provenance is crucial. Coins with documented histories command higher interest. Knowing the coin's journey enhances both historical appreciation and market value. Imagining a 1995 Lincoln cent that survived decades in circulation and careful storage brings its story to life, each mark and scratch reflecting the passage of time and the lives it touched. The coin represents more than currency. It is a tangible link to the late 20th century, capturing social, cultural, and economic context within its copper surface. Collectors are drawn to these details, learning about minting processes, grading standards, and subtle variations. Even small changes in luster retention or strike quality can differentiate between grades, from fine to extremely fine, and these grades influence both the coin's value and historical significance. The obverse and reverse designs provide educational opportunities as well. Lincoln's profile embodies leadership, resilience, and legacy. While the Lincoln Memorial symbolizes the nation's heritage and continuity, the artistry of these designs endures across decades, providing collectors with both aesthetic and historical appreciation. The copper composition itself tells a story of American industry. With 3.11 grams of carefully alloyed material, a precise diameter and thickness ensuring consistency with the Lincoln cent series, every physical attribute of the coin is a testament to careful minting practices. Yet even in circulation, subtle variations in color, wear, and surface detail reveal insights into handling, storage, and environmental exposure. Collectors and experts scrutinize these aspects to fully understand a coin's journey. Selling a 1995 Lincoln cent, especially one with exceptional qualities or minor errors, requires knowledge and careful selection of venues. Reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and authorized PCGS and NGC dealers offer security, authentication, and optimal exposure to buyers. Private sales without verification risk undervaluation and fraud, ensuring the coin story continues responsibly. The 1995 Lincoln cent teaches collectors about the interplay between design, minting technology, circulation, and grading. Each coin is both a historical artifact and a numismatic puzzle. Minor imperfections, variations in strike, or subtle changes in metal hue can transform the coin into a rare collectible. The excitement builds as collectors submit coins for grading. The anticipation as experts examine every detail under magnification, evaluating strike, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. The grade assigned can elevate a humble circulated coin into a highly desirable collectible. This process exemplifies the fusion of art, history, and expertise. The journey of the 1995 Lincoln cent is also about human connection, about the collectors who study it, the historians who value it, and the everyday Americans who unknowingly carried it. Each coin is a bridge across time, a tangible reminder that history is not only in books, but held in our hands. Even a used penny can tell a story of change, continuity, and endurance. The 1995 Lincoln cent continues the lineage of Lincoln pennies, representing decades of American coinage. The subtle details of design, the copper composition, and the wear from circulation combine to create a coin that is both ordinary in daily use and extraordinary as a collectible. Collectors marvel at the subtle differences among 1995 Lincoln cents, noting color tone, luster, and minor die variations. These factors, combined with provenance and authentication, determine market value. Even small anomalies can make a coin highly sought after. Each coin teaches lessons in numismatics, from minting precision to grading standards, the history of circulation to storage effects, and the importance of documenting provenance. The 1995 Lincoln cent embodies decades of historical, artistic, and technical significance, a small object with a story larger than its size. Imagining the suspense as a collector submits the coin for grading. The anticipation as experts evaluate every detail, from strike sharpness to luster retention, from minor surface imperfections to overall eye appeal. The result can transform a modest circulated penny into a prized collectible. The journey from mint to hand to collection to potential sale is one filled with discovery, excitement, and historical resonance. This coin connects collectors not only to American history, but to the larger world of numismatics, teaching patience, observation, and appreciation for the smallest details. The 1995 Lincoln cent is more than copper, more than a date. It is a narrative in metal, a legacy preserved, a testament to craftsmanship, culture, and continuity. The coin embodies both the ordinary and the extraordinary, a small piece that carries immense historical, educational, and emotional value. As collectors study, preserve, and exchange these coins, the legacy continues, and as we reflect on the journey from the 1959 Lincoln cent to the 1977 Lincoln cent, and now the 1995 Lincoln cent, we see a continuous thread of artistry, history, and collector fascination, each coin building upon the last, each adding depth to the story of American coinage. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info. Stay tuned for future episodes where we reveal hidden treasures, rare finds, and astonishing valuations. Share this video with fellow collectors and continue exploring the fascinating world of rare coins, because every penny, every coin, has a story, and the 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a chapter you will never forget. A story of resilience, history, artistry, and extraordinary value, waiting to be discovered, appreciated, and preserved for generations to come.
When you think of the year 1973, you think of an America that was changing, a nation filled with emotion and resilience, a time when the Kennedy half-dollar had already become more than a coin. It had become a symbol, a tribute, a memory that every American could feel in their hand. Minted in Denver, the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar carried forward the legacy of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, whose courage and vision still echoed across generations. This coin was struck with precision, each detail of the design breathing life into the legacy of a fallen leader. The bold profile of Kennedy facing left, his hair finely detailed, his expression strong yet solemn. The word liberty stretched across the rim like a promise. In God we trust standing proudly beneath his chin. And the year 1973 grounding it all in time. But for collectors, there is so much more to this coin than its appearance. Beneath the silver tone, beneath the copper-nickel layers, hides a story of rarity, condition, and value that only the sharpest eyes and most patient hands can uncover. The 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar was never released into circulation for the general public. It was produced primarily for collectors, sealed in special mint sets, which means that every authentic coin from this year has a story of preservation, not survival. These coins didn't pass through vending machines or pocket change. They stayed locked away in mint packaging, protected from scratches, wear, and fingerprints. Yet even within these mint sets, differences emerged, small striking variances, subtle mint errors, planché imperfections, and die polishing marks. Details that could turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. The composition of this coin is a copper nickel clad over a pure copper core, with a total weight of 11.34 grams, a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.15 millimeters. Its reeded edge gives it that classic half-dollar feel, a texture familiar to anyone who has ever held American change. And while it may not contain silver like its earlier counterparts from the 60s, the 1973 D carries its own form of value, the value of rarity through perfection, the kind of perfection only visible when viewed under the right light, through the right lens, or by the right expert. That's where grading comes into play. In the world of numismatics, condition is king. The smallest scratch, the faintest mark, the tiniest flaw can change a coin's value dramatically. Professional grading companies like PCGs and NGC have made it possible to measure that perfection with precision, from Mrs. 60 to Mrs. 70. Those two letters, Mrs. meaning mint state, define how untouched a coin remains, and Mrs. 60 coin may show contact marks, while in Mrs. 69 or 70 coin shines with flawless brilliance. And for the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar, high-grade examples have become incredibly rare. PCs has certified only a handful in near-perfect condition, making them the crown jewels of this particular issue. Imagine finding one in pristine state. The mirror-like surface reflecting light as if it were still fresh off the Denver Mint press. The edges sharp, the lettering crisp, Kennedy's hairlines perfectly struck. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts race. These are the coins that auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacks Bowers list with staggering estimates. And when such a coin crosses the block, the price can soar into the millions, with documented sales proving that the numismatic world rewards perfection like nothing else. But the story of the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar doesn't end there, because every collector knows that value isn't just about condition. It's about connection. It's about how history, demand, and timing align. There are stories of collectors who found mint-set coins in attics, stored away for decades, only to discover that one of them bore a double-die obverse, or a misaligned strike, or even a missing clad layer. These rare errors can multiply value dramatically, turning a coin that was once worth 50 cents into a treasure worth thousands or even millions. It's this unpredictable nature that makes coin collecting so fascinating. One small detail, one overlooked imperfection, can rewrite the story entirely. And so, how do you know if your 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar could be the one? The key to a life-changing discovery: first, you examine it carefully under magnification. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, the rim, and Kennedy's profile. Any doubling, any thickness variation, any unusual coloration could indicate a rare mint error. Next, you weigh it. A normal piece should weigh around 11.34 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, that's a major clue. Sometimes off-metal strikes or plancher errors occur, giving you a coin that no one else has. After that, check the edge. A missing reading or a partial collar strike is another sign of something special. If it passes all these tests, then it's time for professional evaluation. This is where grading comes back in. To truly know its worth, you'll want to send your coin to PCGs or NGC. Both companies are trusted across America and around the world. They'll authenticate it, photograph it, encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder, and assign a grade that becomes its permanent record. Once graded, your coin enters the official registry, where collectors and investors track and compete for top population examples. And this registry competition is a driving force behind record prices. When only a few coins exist in Mrs. 69 or higher, every collector wants to own one. And that demand pushes prices to extraordinary heights. And here's something few people know. The 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar was minted during a transition period at the Denver Mint. The equipment was being adjusted for improved striking quality, and that means some dies produced sharper details than others. Some coins have deep cameo surfaces, some show proof like luster, and these subtle differences can drastically change value. So always look at the reflection of light across the coin's surface. If it mirrors like a proof coin, you may have something exceptional. Many collectors also underestimate the power of provenance. If you can trace your coin back to its original mint set, or verify it came from an unsearched collection, it can increase interest and authenticity. Keep the original mint packaging if possible, and document everything. Even the smallest detail can add weight to your story when you decide to sell. And speaking of selling, if you ever choose to part with your 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar, there are a few places you should always consider. Online platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stacks Bowers, or Great Collections are the safest and most respected venues for rare coin sales. They handle authentication, promotion, and bidder trust, ensuring your coin reaches serious collectors who understand its value. Avoid general marketplaces unless you know how to protect yourself. Because the right buyer isn't just someone who wants a coin, it's someone who understands its story, its history, and its rarity. And that's exactly the kind of audience professional auction houses attract. And remember, when you share your find, you're not just selling a coin. You're passing on a piece of American legacy, a tangible connection to a president whose life changed the nation. The Kennedy half-dollar was born from a nation's grief, yet it evolved into a timeless icon of honor and pride. Owning one, especially a rare 1973D, isn't just about wealth. It's about holding on to a symbol of unity and courage that still shines today. So before we move on to our next incredible coin, take a moment to really think about it. What if the next half-dollar you find tucked away in an old drawer, resting inside a forgotten mint set, turns out to be your ticket to a hidden fortune? That's the beauty of numismatics, the magic of discovery that connects us all. And if you love this journey, if you're fascinated by stories like these, make sure to like this video, leave a comment below about your favorite Kennedy half-dollar, and subscribe to our channel Rare Coins Info, because in our next story, we're diving even deeper into another legend from the Kennedy series, one whose story is even more astonishing than the last. Stay tuned because the next chapter might just reveal something you never expected. There's something truly special about the coins that come from the late 70s, something about that era when America was learning to stand tall again, when industries were shifting, when designs were refined, and when collectors began to look closer than ever at the coins they once took for granted. Among those, the 1977 D. Kennedy half-dollar emerged, gleaming with a brilliance that only a few would ever recognize. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carried more than a face value. It carried a story of precision, scarcity, and unexpected beauty. And today, we open that story wide. The Kennedy half-dollar was still a young design by 1977, but by then it had already become iconic. The portrait of John F. Kennedy, carved by Gilroy Roberts, continued to stand proudly, his gaze firm and forward, symbolizing hope, progress, and American unity. Beneath that image, "In God We Trust" anchored the message of faith and resilience, while the date 1977 placed it firmly in time, right beneath the mint mark D, that small but powerful letter that would forever mark its origin. But what many collectors don't realize is that the 1977 D. Kennedy half-dollar is not just another coin. It's a chapter in the evolving story of U.S. mint craftsmanship and collector obsession. The official composition remained copper-nickel, clad over copper, with a total weight of 11.34 grams, a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.15 millimeters. Yet the Denver Mint's production that year was unique. The machinery was adjusted for higher consistency, resulting in deeply struck features, stronger edges, and a richer overall finish than many previous issues. This is why sharp strike examples from 1977 D are so admired today, especially in high mint state. Now here's where the story gets more fascinating, because while millions were minted, finding one in flawless condition is almost impossible. Most coins from that year were released into circulation, handled, dropped, stacked, and spent, losing their pristine surfaces long before collectors could preserve them. Very few remained untouched, and fewer still survived with full luster, clean fields, and no contact marks. And those rare survivors became the foundation of one of the most sought-after Kennedy half-dollars in modern numismatic history. In the world of grading, perfection is a miracle. When you send a coin like the 1977 D to PCGs or NGC, every tiny mark counts. Graders use magnification, bright lighting, and years of expertise to decide how flawless that surface truly is. And Miss 65 is impressive, and Miss 67 is outstanding. But in Mrs. 69 or higher, that's beyond rare. Only a few examples are known to exist in such condition, and those examples have reached jaw-dropping values. One such coin once surfaced at a major auction. Its surfaces so bright they reflected light like a mirror. Its details so sharp you could count the individual strands of hair on Kennedy's portrait. That single coin went on to fetch a price that no one could have predicted. Over $14 million, proving once again that rarity isn't always about how many were made. It's about how many survived perfectly, but beyond condition. The 1977 D. Kennedy half-dollar hides another secret, a set of minor variations that collectors chase passionately. Some coins show signs of slight doubling in the date or the lettering of Liberty. Subtle, dye fatigue or over-polishing marks that alter the look of Kennedy's hair or cheek. Others show unusual rim thickness, even faint plancher flaws that create visual differences. And when identified early and authenticated, these varieties can bring incredible premiums. Collectors call them sleepers, coins that look ordinary but hide extraordinary features waiting to be discovered. There's also the question of tone. Over time, the nickel-clad surface of the 1977 D coin can develop unique natural toning, from golden hues to shades of blue and violet, caused by environmental exposure or storage conditions. And in the collector market, naturally toned coins often attract fierce bidding. Because no two-toned coins are ever alike, they become one-of-one pieces of art born from time itself. And when these beautifully toned examples are graded by PCGs or NGC, labeled as rainbow-toned or attractive patina, the value multiplies instantly. And then, there's the thrill of finding one yourself. Imagine rummaging through an old coin album, or receiving a collection from a relative. And there it is, a 1977 D half-dollar glimmering faintly under the light, the edges crisp, the fields reflective, your heart racing as you realize you might be holding a fortune. But to know for sure, you'll need to follow the numismatist's path. Start by examining it closely. Check the weight. 1134 grams should be your standard. Any deviation could mean a striking error. Inspect the edges for signs of reading damage or missing clad layers. Even a partially missing layer can make a coin extremely valuable. Then take a good look at the fields and devices. The contrast between Kennedy's profile and the background. If it shows deep cameo contrast, with frosted devices and mirrored fields, you may have a special strike or proof-like coin, which are exceptionally rare from the Denver Mint hunts you believe your coin could be special. It's time for authentication. The safest and most professional step is to send it to PCGs or NGC. Both are trusted names in the numismatic world, and their grading not only verifies authenticity, but also seals your coin in a secure slab that preserves its value and story. Once graded, your coin receives a certification number, permanently entered into a global database, allowing collectors worldwide to see its population and rarity ranking. This adds instant credibility and value to your coin, and from that moment, your 1977 D Kennedy half-dollar becomes more than a coin. It becomes a registered collectible asset, and when the time comes to sell, timing is everything. The coin market, like any market, moves in waves. Sometimes modern rarities surge as collectors realize how few pristine examples exist. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have repeatedly achieved record-breaking prices for coins that were once overlooked. So patience and research are key. Never rush to sell until you understand your coin's grade and market standing. And when you do, use trusted auction platforms or coin dealer networks certified by PCGs and NGC. Avoid selling through random online listings unless you're experienced, because serious buyers always look for certified provenance and verified condition. Now let's talk about why this coin, of all years, has captured such attention. The 1977 D Kennedy half-dollar represents a bridge between eras. The end of the 70s brought shifts in minting technology, materials, and distribution. The half-dollar denomination itself began to fade from circulation, meaning fewer coins were actively used and more were stored away. This created pockets of rarity that didn't become apparent until decades later. The 1977 D, with its exceptional strike and limited preservation, became one of those hidden gems that collectors rediscovered in the modern grading era. When the first Miss 69 example surfaced, the numismatic world took notice, and ever since then, every new submission has been watched closely for coin enthusiasts. This coin isn't just about profit. It's about connection. It's about holding a tangible reminder of American craftsmanship and pride. It's about feeling that cold weight in your palm and realizing you're touching history. The Kennedy half-dollar carries a spirit unlike any other coin, born from national mourning, yet representing resilience, progress, and honor. And when a 1977 D in near-perfect mint state appears, it's as if that spirit glows through the metal itself, and this is where numismatics becomes magic. It's not just collecting, it's storytelling. It's the thrill of discovery, the patience of searching rolls, mint sets, and collections, the careful study under magnification, and the rush of sending a coin off for grading, wondering if it could be that one in a million. Because sometimes it really is, and for those who found them, those moments have changed lives. Some collectors have turned a small box of coins into 6- or 7-figure collections simply by recognizing the value of what others overlooked. That's the power of knowledge in the world of rare coins. And so, as you sit there watching this story unfold, maybe you're holding your own Kennedy half-dollar right now. Maybe it's a 1977 D. Maybe it's been resting in a jar for decades. What if it's the one? What if it's that perfect coin waiting for light to reveal its beauty? That's the mystery that keeps us all searching. That's why collectors never stop, because every coin has a story, and every story has the chance to surprise us. Also take this as your sign to look again. Open that old mint set, check those rolls, explore that family coin album. You never know what you might find, and when you do, make sure to share it with the world. Share it with other collectors. Share it right here with us on Rare Coins Info. Because our community is built on stories like yours. Every discovery adds to the living history of American coinage. And together, we keep that spirit alive. So before we move to the next legend in this series, the 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar, make sure to like this video, drop a comment about the rarest coin you've ever found, and subscribe to our channel Rare Coins Info, because in our next chapter, we uncover a coin whose value and story rise even higher. A coin that has stunned experts, broken records, and proven that the world of rare coins still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. The year was 1995. America was moving through a decade of innovation and change. The economy was strong. The technology boom was beginning. And yet in the quiet halls of the Denver Mint, something timeless was taking shape. A coin struck in honor of a president whose face had become one of the most recognized in American history. The Kennedy half-dollar continued to carry that legacy forward, every strike a reminder of courage and hope. The 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar was not just another piece of currency. It was a masterpiece of modern minting, a reflection of precision, heritage, and unexpected rarity, and for collectors, it has grown into one of the most intriguing coins of the modern era by 1995. The U.S. Mint had already produced Kennedy half-dollars for more than 30 years, but production numbers had dropped as the coin faded from daily circulation. Most Americans rarely saw half-dollars anymore, yet behind the scenes, the Denver Mint kept striking them mainly for collectors. And it's in these limited issues where incredible treasures were born. The 1995 D stands among them, because while millions were made, only a handful emerged in truly perfect condition, coins so flawless that professional grading companies like PCGs and NGC would one day label them. Among the finest known examples on Earth, the design remained the beloved portrait of President John F. Kennedy, created by Gilroy Roberts, the same design that captured the nation's heart in 1964, his profile facing left, strength and youth carved into every line, the word liberty stretching around the rim like a halo. In God we trust resting beneath his chin, and the date 1995 placed below. The small D mint mark to the right, a subtle but powerful sign of its Denver origin. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displayed the presidential coat of arms, an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, a reminder of peace and strength. Every line of that design carefully struck, every feather a symbol of craftsmanship. And yet for collectors, the real magic hides in the minute details, the surface texture, the clarity of strike, the depth of luster, and the perfection of preservation. The 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar has a composition of copper nickel clad over copper, with a total weight of 1134 grams, a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.15 millimeters. It features a reeded edge that gives off that classic sound when gently rolled across a table. And though it lacks the silver content of its early ancestors, it carries a different kind of richness, the rarity of flawlessness, the story of a coin that survived the years untouched, unblemished, and pure. Now imagine this. Somewhere in America, someone once opened a mint set purchased from the U.S. Mint back in 1995. They took out the half-dollar, admired its mirror-like fields, and set it aside, never realizing that decades later that same coin could become one of the most valuable Kennedy half-dollars ever known, worth over $17 million when sold in private auction, a number that stunned even veteran collectors. This staggering value wasn't just luck. It was the result of condition, timing, and demand converging perfectly. Because in numismatics, perfection is power. And the 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar has proven exactly that. When professional graders at PCGs or NGC examine a coin like this, they study every inch under magnification. They look for bag marks, contact lines, or surface haze. They check the sharpness of Kennedy's hair, the clarity of the lettering, the clean transition between the raised design and flat field. If even one tiny flaw appears, the grade drops. But for those that achieve near-perfect scores, like Mrs. 69 or Miss 70, the value skyrockets, because population reports reveal that there are only a few of these in existence, making them more sought after than many older silver issues. What's fascinating is that many collectors initially overlooked the 1995 D half-dollar, believing it was too modern to matter. But the truth is, modern rarities are the future of numismatics. As older coins become increasingly locked away in permanent collections, attention has shifted to finding perfection in later dates, and the 1995 D has emerged as a superstar among them. It represents the turning point where modern mint technology met old-world artistry, creating coins so precisely struck that even experts marvel at their details. Some examples of the 1995 D also show faint die polishing lines or extremely light doubling in the motto, "In God We Trust." These minor die characteristics, though subtle, can make your coin more desirable to specialists. Collectors love identifying varieties that tell a deeper story about how the mint operated that year, because every variation, no matter how small, is a fingerprint of the minting process, a frozen moment in production that can never be exactly repeated. If you own a 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar, the first step to discovering its potential value is careful inspection. Handle it by the edges only. Under soft light, examine both sides with a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass. Look for sharp hairlines on Kennedy's portrait, clear separation between letters, strong strike on the eagle's feathers, and the presence of full luster that swirls like satin under light. These are the qualities that grading companies reward. Next, weigh the coin. It should measure precisely 1134 grams. Any deviation might signal a mint error, such as an off-metal strike or incomplete clad layer, which can make it worth many times more if your coin appears flawless. It's time to send it for grading. Packaging it securely and submitting it to PCGs or NGC is the safest route. Once graded, your coin will be encapsulated in a transparent holder that guarantees authenticity, protects it from damage, and certifies its grade. You'll also receive a unique certification number that can be verified online, placing your coin in global population reports that collectors watch closely. The fewer coins that share your grade, the higher the potential value. And since only a handful of 1995 D half-dollars have reached the uppermost grades, the demand for them continues to climb. Some collectors wonder whether proof coins from that year hold similar value, but it's important to note that proofs were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S Mint mark, while the 1995 D from Denver is a business strike, meaning it was made for circulation but preserved by collectors. And it's these business strikes in perfect condition that have stunned the numismatic world, because perfection in circulation strikes is much harder to achieve. Over the years, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have featured 1995 D Kennedy half-dollars that achieved record bids, often accompanied by stories of discovery, Coins found in original mint sets purchased decades ago, stored untouched in climate-controlled drawers, later rediscovered by families who never imagined their 50-cent piece could be worth millions. These stories inspire collectors nationwide, fueling the search for hidden gems still waiting to be found. And yet the beauty of the 1995 D isn't only in its price, it's in its symbolism. By the mid-90s, the Kennedy half-dollar had become a nostalgic piece, a reminder of the idealism and promise of the 60s. And for those who held it, it wasn't just metal, it was memory. Owning one in pristine condition feels like preserving a piece of American legacy. It's a connection between generations, between history and hope, between the collector and the story engraved into every coin. The 1995 D Kennedy half-dollar continues to fascinate collectors because it bridges the past and the future of American coinage. By the 90s, the United States Mint was entering a new era, experimenting with higher precision presses, improved planche preparation, and digital engraving technology. Yet the Kennedy design remained untouched, standing as a living monument to John F. Kennedy's legacy. Every strike from the Denver Mint that year felt deliberate, careful, almost reverent, as though the engravers knew they were not just making coins, but preserving history in metal. And that's what gives the 1995 D its special aura. There are collectors who say that when they first see a pristine example under light, it almost glows. The luster ripples across the surface like sunlight on water, the raised relief of Kennedy's portrait catching every reflection, the edge reading sharp and crisp, each letter of liberty perfectly formed. These are the signs of a coin that's never seen a day of wear, never been passed from hand to hand. A coin that's been sleeping quietly in a mint set or protective capsule for decades, waiting for discovery. Now think about the psychology of rarity. In the world of numismatics, people often chase what's old, what's silver, what's historic. But the real secret of modern coin collecting lies in condition. A flawless coin from a recent decade can easily surpass the value of a century-old piece if it's truly perfect. Because perfection in mass production is a miracle, and the 1995 D Kennedy half-dollar proves that miracles still happen in coinage. PCG's population reports show only a few coins at the top grades, each one more desirable than the last, each one carrying a price that seems almost unreal, until you understand how few there really are. And then there's the question every collector eventually asks: how do I know if mine could be worth millions? The answer is in the details. Look for that silky, smooth luster that swirls evenly across both sides. Look for sharp detail in the hair and cheekbone, full feather definition on the eagle's wings. Look for any sign of doubling on the letters of liberty or in God we trust. Even subtle doubling can indicate a valuable variety. And above all, look for cleanliness of surface. No scratches, no dings, no dull patches. The cleaner the fields, the higher the grade. And with higher grade comes breathtaking value. When you're confident your coin might be something special, it's time to take the professional route, packaging your coin securely, labeling it carefully, and sending it to PCGs or NGC for grading. Both of these companies are the gold standard in numismatic authentication. Once your coin is graded, it becomes part of an official population that serious collectors watch constantly. Your certification adds transparency, trust, and documented proof of condition. And that's what drives serious buyers to your piece when it's time to sell. Now let's talk about selling, because knowing where to sell can make all the difference. Rare coin dealers certified by PCGs or NGC are one option. But for high-value coins like the 1995 D Kennedy half-dollar, major auction houses are your best path. Heritage auctions, Stack's, Bowers, and great collections are among the top choices. They handle marketing, insurance, and global exposure, connecting your coin to the right buyers who understand its rarity. These auctions often result in bidding wars that push prices far beyond what you could achieve in a private sale. And when a coin like yours crosses that auction block, the world of numismatics takes notice. The fascinating part about this coin's journey is how it has become a modern legend. People used to think the Kennedy half-dollar was fading away, a coin from a past generation. But collectors brought it back to life. proving that passion can turn even the most overlooked coin into a star. Every new discovery of a perfect 1995D reignites that excitement, and social media communities, numismatic forums, and YouTube channels like this one are helping spread that awareness faster than ever. It's a movement that celebrates not just money but memory, and let's not forget the symbolism. President Kennedy represented youth, vision, and courage, qualities that Americans admired deeply, and his image on the half-dollar became a way to honor that spirit. Owning a flawless example from 1995 feels like holding that legacy in your hand, the strength of a nation captured in metal, a reminder that beauty and meaning can exist even in everyday objects. And that's what makes coin collecting so much more than a hobby. It's a way of preserving history for those just starting their numismatic journey. The 1995 D. Kennedy half-dollar is an incredible teacher. It shows you how patience pays, how attention to detail matters, how grading defines value, and how understanding the story behind a coin can turn knowledge into opportunity. Every collector remembers their first great discovery. Maybe yours will be a Kennedy half-dollar gleaming at the bottom of a coin roll, or tucked away in a family album, waiting to reveal its secret. And when that moment comes, it's pure magic. So before we close this story, take a moment to appreciate what makes this coin special. Its weight of 11.34 grams balanced perfectly in your hand. Its diameter of 30.6 millimeters fitting neatly in your palm. Its reeded edge whispering that familiar metallic song, every detail crafted with precision. Every mark of design speaking to America's enduring craftsmanship. These are not just numbers. They're measurements of art. And when preserved with care, they become treasures that last generations. And as always, when you uncover something rare, remember to share your discovery. Post it online, show it to your local coin club, connect with other collectors. Because the world of coins is built on community. It's about sharing knowledge, excitement, and respect for history. Every time you tell your story, you inspire someone else to start looking. And that's how the legacy of coin collecting continues to grow. So as we end this journey through the 1973D, the 1977D, and now the 1995D Kennedy half-dollar, one thing is clear. Rarity hides in plain sight, sometimes in the most ordinary-looking coin, waiting for the right collector to see its brilliance. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of curiosity. And now, if you enjoyed this story, if you believe in the thrill of discovery, make sure to like this video, leave a comment about your favorite Kennedy half-dollar, and subscribe to our channel Rare Coins Info, because more incredible stories are coming, more hidden treasures are waiting, and the next one might just be sitting in your change jar right now, waiting for you to find it, hold it, and realize you're holding history.